6.02 times 10 to the 23rd is a huge number. I mean, think about it. That is 602 with 21 zeros after it. That is a huge number. The reason we need such a large number in chemistry is because the atom is such a small particle that it cannot be seen with the naked eye. In fact, you couldn't see it if you had a magnifying glass. You couldn't see it if you had a microscope. The reality is you need a billion atoms before you can see it with the naked eye, which is why on weekends I'll make my kids a billion atom pancake. So with 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms, you can start seeing how many atoms you have. And then you can start weighing how many atoms you have in grams on a balance. We discussed on Cereal Day how the number of atoms in a mole is similar to knowing the number of pieces of cereal in a cereal box. It's really not useful information. When people talk about cereal, they talk about boxes or grams. Even the president of Rice Krispies wouldn't know how many pieces of cereal he sells. It's just not useful information. So why do we do this? Well, we're trying to teach you number sense. So if we ask you how many atoms are in 24 moles, we want you to be able to use your calculator and realize that you're supposed to get a very large number when you multiply 24 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Now there's a couple ways to do times 10 to the 23rd. You can use the caret and get a fine answer. The E stands for times 10 to the, and the 25 means to the 25th power. But you could also use that E for 6.02 E23. What that means is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. As you can see, you get the same answer, 1.44 times 10 to the 25th. Atoms. There's that word again. So when you see the words atom, molecules, or formula units, that's your sign that you're going to need 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. So how many moles are there in 3.72 times 10 to the 27th molecules? Molecules is letting you know you need 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. In fact, you're going to use it to make that number smaller. So we're getting back to that number sense. When you divide 3.72 times 10 to the 27th by 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, you're expecting a much smaller number, something more manageable. So if you put it in your calculator and you get a huge number, like 6.17 times 10 to the 49th, you know you did something wrong. There's two ways to address this. One, you can always use E, because the E will keep the times 10 connected to the number. If you really insist on using the caret method, that's fine. But keep in mind, for the calculator, you will need to put the denominator, in this case 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, all in parentheses. This way you let the calculator know to divide by the entire 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd and not just the 6.02. And it won't put that times 10 to the 23rd back in the numerator. So there you have it, 6180 moles, a much more manageable number. So when you see atoms, molecules, or formula units, this should be your reaction. And that's how you know to use 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd.